well-being is something that's natural to everyone. And the only thing that tends to cover over our natural capacity for well-being is the role that thought plays in creating our experience.
Mm.
And that what I see happen for any human being is there are things that people can learn that help us have less and less thinking on our mind. And when people have less thinking on their mind, they tend to be more fully engaged in the present moment.
Mm.
And any person who's fully engaged in the present moment begins to automatically and naturally feel better and think better,
Mm. Mm.
right?
It seems so simple.
It does seem very, very simple, is that it's something that they've known, for example, in sports for a long time, is that when people, they talk about athletes being in the zone,
Yeah.
which just means athletes are not caught up in their own personal thinking while they're performing.
Yeah.
And as soon as athletes start to get involved and caught up in their own personal thinking, their performance starts to suffer and they start to have more difficulty.
Mm.
So I became very interested many years ago into what any of us could learn that would help raise our overall level of well-being so that we would feel more fully engaged in life, so that we would enjoy life more, so that we would be able to bring greater and greater warmth and kindness and love to other people.
Yeah.
And also an important part of our well-being is being able to go through our inevitable downtimes more gracefully,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is a big part of well-being. And they say that people who go through their upset or their low moods gracefully are people who have a lot of resilience.
Mm. Yeah.
And so that's part of well-being. And so I've been very interested in what people can learn that will help people once again access their natural capacity for resilience, for well-being, for living fully in the moment,
Mm.
for having more enjoyment in life, having less and less uh, difficulty and conflict in our relationships,
Yeah.
more compassionate toward our own and other people's suffering.
Yeah.
That's what I've been interested in, and it's been fun because I've learned a lot that I think is very helpful for people to also learn about.
I mean, you've been doing this for so long, like
Oh,
36 years. Or so. How many years has it been?
well, 38 years ago, I became licensed as a psychologist, and 27 years ago, I came across a man who was teaching about psychological well-being and spiritual well-being in a
Yeah.
way that was so simple and so profound and so helpful. And so that was back in 1986.
Yeah.
And it's been very exciting to have opportunities to share this with people in all different backgrounds and situations, and to take this teaching into businesses, and to use it with helping couples and individuals find and access and live from their own well-being.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's like it's never ending. My feel, even though I haven't done this for as long as, I mean, I've only done this for a year or so, but it's like it's never ending. It keeps growing. The understanding and the feeling. Um,
Yes.
it's something that's growing from inside instead of something you have to learn. Um, it's hard to put into words.
Well, when you start talking about well-being,
Yeah,
there's no ceiling or no limit.
yeah, yeah,
It's not like any of us can ever say, I could not possibly be any more loving or any more understanding or any more compassionate or any more creative or any more courageous.
yeah.
That's what I love about
Uh-huh.
the human mind. The capacity and potential of the human mind is infinite,
Yeah, yeah.
and that there's no end to the capacity people have for wisdom and new thinking.
Mm.
And that's part of what I enjoy teaching people about is the fact that we already have innate well-being, and that we are already connected to the same intelligence that knows how to create
Mm.
everything that exists.
Yeah.
It's
But then people, I mean, me included, I ask, how do you do that? How do you get to that uh, well-being? How do you understand this? And
well, it's like how we come to understand anything, Peter.
yeah,
Look at all the things that all of us have learned, I mean, really learned or really come to understand. Even the most ordinary of things, like learning how to ride a bicycle.
mm,
And it's difficult, and it's really difficult, and then all of a sudden you have an insight about balance, and it gets easier.
yeah, yeah,
And so learning is a very natural process.
mm, mm,
Very natural process, and everybody already has learned so much that there's no reason people can't have insight and learn
mm,
more about how the human mind operates, and how we, by understanding that deeper, our level of well-being automatically begins to rise.
yeah, yeah. It's a bit like, well, it's like you're learning from insight. It's like you're looking inside yourself, and it's sometimes it just strikes you.
That's right.
Like, aha, it's something new. It's looking at it in a different way. Um, and But still, it's something that you can't control it or make it happen. It's kind of life teaches you your own experience.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we now know that there's some things that we can point people toward that increase the likelihood that the insights they have will more directly raise their overall level of well-being.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we point people towards some fundamental forces in life that generate human experience, and as I've never found anything that is more likely to help people have insight in a way that raises their level of well-being.
Mm.
And that's what our workshops are about, or that's what our trainings are about, is pointing people towards some fundamental truths about how human beings operate. And as people, it's just like learning anything else, but the benefit of having insight into the very nature of the human mind and how it operates is that those insights lead naturally toward greater balance in your life, in the same way that when you practice riding a bicycle, at a certain point you have insight that helps you find greater physical balance.
Yeah.
Well, we know that there are insights people can have that immediately allow them a greater psychological or spiritual balance in their life.
Yeah.
And when you have greater balance or harmony within yourself, and you have greater trust in your own wisdom and well-being, your life becomes more balanced. It becomes easier. You're better able to deal with whatever challenges come your way.
Mm. Mm.
You're way more likely to have everything you need in order to create a healthy relationship with somebody.
Yeah. I definitely experienced that. It's amazing how it works. I don't know how it works. It just works.
Well, I think learning is a pretty amazing process, and it's been working for us our whole lives. So it's just nice to know that we now can help people have insight into things that really help them in terms of their well-being. That's the important thing, and it's delightful to have learned something that I can share with people and be able to illustrate this with lots of stories, and then at a certain point people have their own insights, and suddenly what was difficult gets a little easier.
Yeah.
That's the very nature of learning, is whenever you learn something through insight, whatever you were having difficulty with gets easier, and it happens right away as soon as your understanding takes a jump.
Yeah.
As soon as your level of understanding goes up, whatever had been difficult gets a little easier.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. I don't know how much time you have, Dicken. I didn't ask you, sorry. How much time do you have?
Yeah, well, I don't have a whole lot of time because I have another client I'm going to be talking to soon. So
Okay.
I really wanted to, when I heard that you were doing this, Peter, I really wanted to find a way that I could come on for just a little bit and join you. Are there any other questions or anything else you would like me to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, you're coming to Sweden, 24, 25, 5th of May.
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward to that. It's
Yeah,
going to
me
be
too.
great. So, what can people expect from this weekend? Could you say a few words?
Yeah, I think the weekend will be very, very pleasant for people. It's because of my passion about learning and how people learn. I know people learn best when they're feeling comfortable and relaxed.
Hmm.
And so the weekend will be a very comfortable, relaxed weekend, and you'll have an opportunity to hear me share what I think are the essential things that people need to understand so that their own well-being will begin to rise.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for a lot of years, and so I've had an awful lot of experiences of running these kinds of workshops and trainings, and I'm just really excited to have this opportunity. It'll be reflective. It'll be lighthearted. People learn best when they're just relaxed and enjoying themselves. So really like to create that kind of a learning environment.
That's great. Yes. Yeah, really
People
looking
have
forward.
plenty of opportunity to interact and ask questions, and so that the specific questions that you have will you'll have plenty of opportunity to ask.
Yeah, from what I've seen and experienced myself, it's a very personal experience. You really find your own personal insights and truths in a
Well,
very
that's true, Peter. It is personal in that sense because it's not a matter of intellectually understanding what we're talking about.
yeah.
Because intellectual understanding doesn't necessarily improve the quality of a person's life.
Mm.
So it's personal in the sense that in this way of learning, which is natural to us, when you have your own insight, that's where the real learning comes from. So that what people take home from the weekend is not what they've heard, because what you've heard is easy to forget.
Yeah.
But it's what you've realized to be true, and you can't lose true insight. It'll stay with you. In the
Yeah.
same way, when you have an insight about balance in terms of riding a bicycle, you can't lose that.
Mm.
You understand, or you have realized what it takes to have balance on a bicycle.
Mm.
It doesn't mean you can't have further insights that help you do even better with that, but you can't lose a true insight. So this is an insight-based learning process
Mm.
that's fun, it's enjoyable, it's an opportunity for people to learn things that can stay with you and help you
Mm.
live at a greater level of well-being for the rest of your life.
Wow. It's so exciting. Yeah. That's we me and my wife, we had you as a mentor as well, and it's such an amazing experience. It's like something awakens inside just from listening to you. It's hard to describe it. It's like the feeling, um, and I don't know how you do that.
I don't think that I do it. Is that I just point people in a direction where the likelihood that they're going to have their own insight increases enormously.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm talking about things that are so fundamentally true for all human beings that if you have an insight into the nature of the human mind, it's something that helps you have a better understanding not only of yourself but of everybody.
Mm.
And one of the aspects of true learning is that when you have insight, it's uplifting.
Yeah.
And it comes with a positive feeling.
Yes.
And that positive feeling then begins to unfold more and more in your life so that you begin to have more insight, more positive feeling, a deeper sense of connection with life and with other people, as happens when people live in these deeper feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great.
Well, Peter, thanks for having me on, and I am having just a wonderful sense of people listening in, and so I wish you all well, and I hope to see you at some point while I'm in Sweden. That would be wonderful to meet people face to face.
Yes, yes. It's great to see you, and thank you for coming on. And well, I feel so blessed to have you.
Oh, Peter, thank you. Thank you. You're very kind.
Yeah. Okay. So, see you soon.
Alrighty, good. Yeah, I'll see you soon. I can't wait to see both of you soon.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Bye, Peter.
Okay. Bye.